Hello everyone, it's Allison with Determined to Shine, and I am super excited that you are here today. Welcome, welcome if it's your first time, or if you've been here many times, I'm so glad you've decided to tune in today. Here at Determined to Shine, we use the magic formula of creativity, spiritual connection, and community to chase down joy and seize the day and just really know that we are bigger than the challenges that are ahead of us. One way we do that is through working with tarot and oracle cards, and another way we do that is through playing with art journaling. And my favorite way to do that is by using one to inspire the other, which is what we are going to do here today. So we're going to dive right in with a look at the Simplicity Tarot, which is a brand new deck on the market by Emilie Muniz. Super, super excited. This deck I thought was really important to share because I get a lot of people who ask me about tarot and wanting to get started, but they find it simply too hard or confusing. It's not beginner friendly, and so they say they'll just stick with oracle cards, even though they'd like to play with tarot, but it's just too hard for them because there's so much to learn. And this deck takes the fear out of it, and also it's just really beautiful. So let's dive right in and have a look. It comes in this beautiful box. It's a two-part box. You can see all the way around. It has this gorgeous art. I just love it. Look at that. So gorgeous. And then let's take a look at the guidebook. So the guidebook to this deck, is not very big, but boy does it pack a punch. Emilie has done a really nice job of talking about, why she created this deck, how to use it, and it's really designed for that person who is new to tarot and wants to learn how to use it. And so she goes through everything you need to know, how to interpret the cards. She gives examples, not even just spreads, but explains how she interprets the cards. You can see that. She has more and more information. There's a lot in here for a beginner for this little book. So it's pretty exciting. And then for each card, of course, she has the description of the card and the keywords that go with that card. So great little white book. Now let's take a look at the deck. Here's the card back. It is stunning. Now you might notice this matches the reading cloth. This card is also from Emilie. So I will, of course, have the link to her deck and her Etsy shop in the description box. And you can also buy this beautiful cloth for your tarot readings. And she has actually a couple different treats like that on there in addition to the deck. So it's a nice, luxurious deck. The cardstock is perfect. It's, just the right amount of sturdy. It's matte. It's luscious. It's what I like to call buttery, delicious cardstock, even though I know that sounds funny. It's got this beautiful matte gold gilding. So, so pretty. But here is where the magic of this deck comes in, which is that every single card not only has, the symbolism you need from tarot, but it's designed so that the most important parts of the symbolism are there, and you have these two keywords on every single card. And so reading with it now becomes as easy as reading an oracle deck, because while that book that comes with the deck shows you different spreads and ways to interpret the cards really well, what you need is on the card itself. The Magician represents manifestation and power. The High Priestess represents intuition and mystery. And so the Empress, fertility and nurturing. So you can see as I go through these, all of a sudden, reading with tarot is not so hard. And I love this because, I've been reading tarot for a while now, but I still fall back to those guidebooks way too often. And I shouldn't say way too often because, the creators work really hard on their guidebooks and some of them are excellent. But at a certain point, one needs to trust themselves when it comes to tarot. And so why I love this deck is it really gives me the confidence I need to read kind of what I'll call off book and just use the cards, because sometimes if I just see the picture and the name, I can go into a little bit of a panic mode, especially if I'm reading for someone else, like, oh no, it's the devil. That means like, oh, we're all gonna die. You know, I don't know. And that's of course not what that means. This means bondage and toxicity. So depending on the question I've asked, I can know, am I talking about ways that I am feeling trapped, or ways that there's toxic behaviors in my own life or toxic people in my life? And all of a sudden, you know, that gives me the information I need to move forward with my reading intuitively and confidently. Again, the Tower, destruction and sudden change. So it can mean sudden change. And I don't have to look at this as this like terrible omen. It just means something is falling down in order for something else to be built up. And sometimes that's beautiful. My personal life, you know, I joke that my whole deck of my life is a deck of oops, all towers, because I have so many big tower moments in my life, and some of the most beautiful things ever have come out of those moments. Star, hope and spirituality. And so I just really love this deck because it does give you the ability to read more confidently, and it's so pretty and it feels so luxurious. Like I have so many card decks, and yet I feel like if I were only going to use one forever, it might be this one, because it has that basic symbolism that I need based on the original Rider-Waite system of reading cards. Like all the symbolism is here, those keywords are here, like everything I need to read is present in this deck. And so it's becoming quickly my go-to for myself, and especially when I read for other people. There's also 2 extra bonus cards in here. You get a spiritual guide card and a spiritual cleansing card. And the meanings and interpretations for these are, of course, in the guidebook as well. One other thing I want to mention is this deck does come in 2 versions. So Emilie created the minimalist art version and the diverse edition. Now, the one I'm showing you here is the diverse edition. And so this one simply means that the people in the deck are created to showcase and highlight cultures and ethnicities from around the world. Lots of great diversity, which I so appreciate. If you've been watching my channel for any moment of time, which, you know, hasn't been around that long, but many of you have been with Determined to Shine in our Facebook group and other places for a long time, you know that diversity is a really important in our community. And so that was the version that I was drawn to. The minimalist version uses almost more of a coloring book style, and there's still color in it for sure, but it is just a little bit different, and it's a little bit easier to see yourself maybe in every card. So visit Emilie's shop, take a look at the art for both versions, and see which one calls to you. I love this Queen of Wands so much. This reminds me of one of my good friends. So there's just a lot to love about this deck. And if you're, like I said, if you're a person who's looking for your first tarot deck, or who's wanting a deck that can be kind of a workhorse for you, like really give you consistent readings all the time, but just give you those keywords and things that you need, this is the one. I really believe that it is. I'm just skipping a couple cards because there's 80 of them in this deck, so we're gonna move through. I love this Queen of Coins so much, so much. Ace of Cups, love and emotions. See, when I see 2 of Cups, partnership and true love, I don't have to remember. I don't have to go to the guidebook and go, oh, what is that? And then I can look at the symbolism and see the different pieces here and let that contribute to my readings. But like I said, for me personally, what this deck is becoming is that one that kind of gets me out of that little bit of panic that comes when I can't remember exactly what a card means. we'll look at the queen, because I love the queens. Always love the queens. Such a beautiful deck. So I just really cannot recommend this highly enough, honestly. Emilie's done a beautiful job of creating a tool that makes tarot accessible to everyone, especially to beginners. And, you know, the artwork, as I said, is beautiful. It has all the traditional symbolism, but is updated for that modern look. It's that 10 of Swords that everyone loves. It's actually one of my favorite cards. But I'm a little weird that way. And here's our Queen and King of Swords. So, simply gorgeous. As always, I want to thank our deck creator. Thank you, Emilie, for creating this tool for us to use and connect with ourselves and our intuition and all the magic that comes out of reading tarot and comes out of exploring yourself and the things that make you you and the things that are hiding in your subconscious, the messages your soul wants you to know, all the information you need to create the life of your dreams. So again, you know, it's just when I pulled this deck out, I felt like I'd instantly found that best friend in a card deck that I'd been waiting for. Just like I know this deck is trusted and that I can read confidently with it. So really wonderful, wonderful deck. So as we do here at Determined to Shine, we are now going to move into our art journaling project inspired by the Simplicity Tarot. Okay, so for our creative project, I want you to think about what are your personal keywords. And this is a favorite exercise of mine, both inspired by Emilie's keyword deck. It reminded me of this project. And this is an assignment we do in the 30 Days of Art Journaling free art journal class, which I offer. And you can get that link in the description box. And it's simply to create an art journal page that feels like a bit of a self-portrait using words that describe you. Now, there are many ways you can go about choosing the words that describe you. You could use Emilie's deck as a starting point and go through the cards and look at the keywords on each card and think about which ones describe you at your core and use those. I chose to approach this, and I love this approach, a different way. And so what I did was I went to my personal Facebook page and I asked people to describe me in one word. And then I used all of those words on this art journal page. This beautiful woman is actually a rubber stamp from Prima Creations. I did not draw this, I wish, but I did paint it in using watercolor paints. And then I just used pens to go around and I used every word that people had given me, you know, from Hawkeye and cheese lover to survivor and resilient, dedicated, tenacious, spunky, real, etc. So I had a lot of fun with this. This is the first version of this page that I ever did. I did it several years ago. And it was so healing. And every time people do this project with me, I love how inspired they are. And this is I haven't shown this art journal on the channel yet, so I wanted to peek at it a little bit. It is currently not open. I mean, it's open, but it's not laying flat open. Sorry, you'll see what I mean in a second. So this is an art journal. This is how it would close. That is bound using discs. And so this is like the happy planner system. If you do a lot of planning, that's how this journal is put together. And the pages are made of all kinds of papers and things like that. Here's one from sheet music using a cutout from a child's book, etc. I did put a sticker in here to bookmark some other pages I wanted to show you, but it fell inside. So let's see if we can't find that. Oh, I think it's actually on this side. Well, there's the sticker that fell out. So we're just going to roll with this. So here we go. Here are some. So this is the page. We actually do this page that I show this step by step in the Be Your Own Inspiration class that I teach. It's on my website at determinedtoshine.net. Here's another page from the 30 Days of Art Journaling free class. That's my little beagle Gracie. She was a little younger here. She's got more white on her face now. She's a little bit older. This is just a page from a National Geographic or something that hasn't been used yet. Playing card. It's okay not to be okay. Using a cutout. Here's another page. This is a digital stamp. These are some song lyrics by Kate Vogel. This is a bubble wrap print. Okay, I'm like just going way off here. I just wanted to show you how this is put together. This page also I show step by step in the Be Your Own Inspiration class. It's our most popular class, so much fun. So if you'd like me to show you how to make one of these journals, let me know, or even just see more of it or more of them. I have several journals like this. Some I made myself, some I purchased and added to. I was kind of obsessed with these journals for a couple of years, so I have quite a few. Okay, and then the next version I wanted to show you, I have two versions of the project, just like Emily has two versions of the deck with a little bit of a different approach. Was, as I mentioned, the first version of the page that I did, that I just showed you, I did many years ago, and I recently decided that I wanted to revisit this. I thought it was a really powerful project for me. It had been encouraging for several years. Every time I looked at it, I felt really uplifted, and I decided I wanted to just try it again and see if I'd changed, what people were feeling now. So I just approached it a little differently. I once again went to Facebook and asked people to describe me in one word. This is the photo I used of myself to share my request. And so then what I did is I just painted this back of this page pink, and I added this washi tape frame. But instead of just adding the words one at a time, I decided to print out all the comments with the name and photo of each person who had shared them. Because on the last page that I showed you, the words were no longer attached to who said them. And I thought it would be really fun to be able to preserve that part of the project. So I just have washi tape over that right now because I didn't want to show the names and photos of my friends and family on YouTube without their permission. That didn't feel great. Now, the reason this is a page in progress is I had a whole bunch of responses and I printed these out way too big. So what I'll actually be doing next is pulling some of these up, reprinting them all much, much smaller, and then I can fill in all this pink space with the different keywords that people used for me. So that's just a really fun, simple, encouraging project to try. And I know that it can be super scary and risky to ask people to give you positive feedback about yourself, but the healing rewards can be such a payoff. And as I always tell the people I work with in one-on-one coaching, you are welcome to blame me. Just say that there's this lady on YouTube and she said I had to ask you this. And then it's fine, right? Just blame it on me. And then print out those keywords or write them down and combine them with, a photo of yourself or something else that makes you think of you. This other version that I did, obviously it wasn't a photo of myself, but I felt like it was an idealized version of myself in another time, in another place, like steampunk Allison, right? It's just really fun. So it's just such a healing exercise, and I think it's really, really fun, and it just gets you thinking about who you are in a bit of a different way. And especially in tough times, we can absolutely use every bit of encouragement that we can get. So again, as always, thank you for being here. If you want to learn more about art journaling, be sure to check out the description box for the link to that free 30 days of art journaling class. You can also comment and let me know what kind of art journaling videos you want to see, what other decks you want to see, really anything you want to see. I'm open. I'd love to make more content for you guys. I'm having so much fun. Don't forget, of course, if you liked this video, to do all the things. Click that like button, click that notification bell so that you get notified every time that I post a new video. And of course, subscribe. Oh. Yeah, and once again, just thank you for being here. Know that you are loved, you are safe, and that dark days are temporary, and the sun absolutely will come out tomorrow, I promise. So until then, may you remain, as always, determined to just shine your butt off in this crazy, crazy world. Sending you so much love. Bye-bye.